Hi and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about use activity diagram. In UML, an activity diagram is used to display the sequence of activities. Activity diagrams show the workflow from a start point to the finish point, detailing the many decision paths that exist in the progression of events contained in the activity. They may be used to detail situations where parallel processing may occur in the execution of some activities. Activity diagrams are useful for business modeling, where they are used for detailing the processes involved in business activities. For example, one activity diagram is shown below. The following section describes the elements that constitute an activity diagram. Activities. An activity is the specifications of a parameterized sequence of behavior. An activity is shown as a round corner rectangle enclosing all the actions, control flows, and the other elements that make up the activity. Action. An action represents a single step within an activity. Actions are denoted by round corners rectangles. Action constraints. Constraints can be attached to an action. The following diagram shows an action with local pre and post conditions. Control flow. A control flow shows the flow of control from one action to the next. Its notation is a line with an arrowhead. Initial node. An initial node or a start node is depicted by a large black spot, as shown below. Final node. There are two types of final node: activity and flow final nodes. The activity final node is depicted as a circle with a dot inside. The flow final node is depicted as a circle with a cross inside. An object flow is a path along which objects or data can pass. An object is shown as a rectangle. An object flow is shown as a connector with an arrowhead denoting the direction the object is being passed. An object flow must have an object on at least one of its ends. A shorthand notation for the above diagram would be to use input and output bins. A data store is shown as an object with data store keyword. Decision and merge nodes. Decision nodes and merge nodes have the same notation, a diamond shape. They can be both be named. The control flow coming away from a decision node will have guard conditions, which will allow control to flow if the guard condition is met. The following diagram shows use of a decision node and a merge node. A decision node and a merge node, both having the same symbol. Fork and join nodes. Fork and joins have the same notation, either a horizontal or vertical bar. The orientation is dependent on whether the control flow is running left to right or top to bottom. They indicate the start and end of concurrent threads of control. The following diagram shows an example of their use. Fork and join. A join is different from a merge in that the join synchronizes two inflows and produces a single outflow. The outflow from a join can't execute until all inflows have been received. A merge passes any control flows straight through it. If two or more inflows are received by a merge symbol, the action pointed to by its outflow is executed two or more times. Expansion region. An expansion region is a structured activity region that executes multiple times. Input and output expansion nodes are drawn as a group of three boxes representing a multiple selection of items. The keyword iterative, parallel, or stream is shown in the top left corner of the region. An expansion region. Exception handler. Exception handlers can be modeled on activity diagram as in the example below. Interruptible activity region. An interruptible activity region surrounds a group of actions that can be interrupted. In the very simple example below, the process order action will execute until completion, when it will pass control to the close order action, unless a cancel request interrupt is received, which will pass control to the cancel order action. Partition. An activity partition is shown as either horizontal or vertical swim lane. In the following diagram, the partitions are used to separate actions within an activity into those performed by the accounting department and those performed by the customer. That ends our second diagram of the use cases.